Hey people, Inquisitor here, 3v3, Avensa Stronghold, blue team. We've got Zato plays a Techmarine, starts off range combat, puts out some good damage, can also support with structures and repair alongside double Tyranids. First up is Topi as a Ravener Alpha, a tunneling commander with great mobility, some pretty powerful offense too, and some support war gear. Begins in range combat but can get melee weapons alongside. And finishing off this blue team is Floid as a big stompy Hive Tyrant, very durable commander, walks through objects and cannot be suppressed. Some good offense, disruption and support. Begins in melee combat. The red team, we have Nurland as a plague champion, starts off range combat with a damage of a time bolter, can get melee weapons, some decent utility and support, can build turrets and repair but is very slow. Myrdal is a Farseer support commander that fights in melee combat, some awesome buffs with some debuffs and control abilities too. You see guide on those dire Avengers, and rounding off the teams is Noisy as an Inquisitor, offensive commander, lots of great control abilities. Begins in melee combat but can get ranged weapons, has some support too, and took a risk there decapping but seems to have judged it well and is in retreat now. For those of you confused because you haven't seen this map before, this is a map that I made very recently, which is not in Elite mod yet, which should be in the next build whenever that hits. As you can see, it's reasonably small for a 3v3 map. I was trying to encourage the players to push the natural VPs as much as possible. Whether that actually happens, we will see. Myrdal in retreat with his Farseer now. Spore mines on the field from Topi, and Floyd also has some up. He loves to use his spore mines early on. And looks like a good push from blue team. Gonna cap up the mid. Eventually, are they? Looks like they're leaving it. Oh, here comes a Horn Gods to cap, I think. 484, 494. Myrdal with some Howling Banshees on the field. Power melee infantry with some awesome mobility. Can really catch stuff in ambushes and just tear it to shreds, especially Marines. So Zato might want to be careful. Double Chaos Space Marines for Nurland. Pushed back towards his VP by Zato here. Has a sniper rifle on his scouts, but there's some Nurgle worship, and we might see Nurland respond with the mucus discharge to help him against those snipers. Where are Zato's other scouts? We don't see double snipers, but I assume that's what he's going to go for. Plague champion, despite being slow and ponderous and taking sniper shots to the face, can deal with them reasonably well with his mucus discharge heal and his Nurgle worship, especially if he gets some raptors to jump in there. 484, 451, blue team with the 2-to-1. They have the mid and they have their natural, which is over on this east side, controlled by Floyd. Well, here comes Noisy and looks like he's determined to push it, which is what you should do on this map. Try and stretch the play as much as you can, and as you can see, one of the natural powers is right beside the VP there, so trying to encourage the push off the flanks as much as possible. Some Nurgle worship now for the double CSM and Plague Marines. That is pretty difficult to dislodge, especially with heavy cover. Blue team are pushing mid a lot here. There is a natural power in the middle as well. 484, 436. As you might have also noticed, each team has 3 natural wreck points. So if you can push forward and decap a couple of those natural deck points, you're going to be starving the enemy team quite a lot of wreck. Sentinel pushing forward. Might go down here. Nope, the Termagants were suppressed just in time, but can they shake off the suppression and finish it off? Almost did. 472, 436, a 1-to-1 cap. Floyd keeping his double Termagants in play. Here comes the Inquisitor with a special attack immediately. She has a really good special. It's much like the Farseer special, that almost instant animation and 360 knockback. Don't think it does that much damage, but you mostly want special attacks for that knockback, for that disruption. Hive node is up. Big push on the mid by the blue team. They need to keep the pressure on this power. They don't want to just sit here and fight, or they're overextended for nothing. Ravener's forced off by the Howling Banshees. Used his Banshees well so far, Myrdal. There's a lot of obstacles to overcome when you're fighting double Tyranids and you have Banshees, because that's 4 Toxin Sacked Termagants usually. We have 3 at the moment. Floyd has 1 unupgraded. plasma grenade misses. He has some Raveners of his own with the Devourers. These things recently buffed in their damage, so they really hurt. 450, 459, 432. That was nasty. Wow. Holy fire there, combined with the artillery shell from these spotters, did a lot of damage to these termagants. Almost finished off all of Topi's infantry there. 446, 432. Nurland pushing, edging forward on this west side. Blue team populating this contested power with a generator and a node. Devastators on the field now for Zato. Nurland responds with Raptors. 445, 432. And Zato might struggle to deal with those Raptors because he has double sniper scouts. He could get Bionics or the Master Property Bolter or both for his Techmarine, but I think I'd get Bionics and then wait for the Axe in tier 2. Because the Raptors will not like that, and neither will the Chaos Space Marines. Artillery spotters doing some damage with their shells in this game. Don't usually associate them with being so killy. There's a Brood Nest up for Floid. Awesome, awesome global ability for the Hive Tyrant. There's another Holy Pyre. Does damage over time. I think it lost 30 seconds or 20 seconds. Doesn't do a huge amount of damage, but it's more about area denial, since you don't want to stand in it for the full duration. 416, 432. Moving through it is okay, but as you can see, Noisy is closing off any path to move through. And now he's bashing power. Has this VP uncapped. Topi and Floid versus Myrdal and Noisy, and Myrdal's coming up now with his Farseer and that awesome guide buff. Oh, these sniper scouts are stuck in the tunnel, I think, and the Dire Vendors help them out with the grenade. 380, 432, and the scouts did survive, so it's not too bad. No sign. No, he has improved synapse. He doesn't have the charge armor, extended carapace, so he can't charge down this heavy weapon squad. And you see these low concrete walls here. These things are completely unbreakable. I wanted to put some cover in mid and on the flanks that wouldn't just get flattened by the end of the game. So I won't be able to charge through that stuff. 344, 432. Power being bashed. It's just contested power though, so he's not pushing against the natural here. And this contested wreck point is also blue, but they are red on the east side. They are slightly closer to each team, these contested points. 322, 432. Shuriken Cannon might go down here. Ravener's getting into melee combat. Can he finish it off? Not quite. And he run into another Shuriken. It's a good push though by the double Tyranids on this flank. Hive Tyrant just waltzing into combat. A nice grenade, only took down one of the Raveners. Pretty unlucky there for Myrdal. Might have hoped to finish off that squad. More Raveners on the field. These guys are ranged though for Floid. Double Raveners in tier 1. Don't see that all that often as a Hive Tyrant player. Sometimes you'll see it with a Ravener Alpha because he wants to get the supermassive, scary, ranged blob with the Synapse Aura and stuff. 294, 432. Venom Brood on the way for Topi. Plasma Cannon on the way for Zato. And Myrdal's Farseer chopping through some Hormagaunts will now turn around and cap that contested VP. 293, 432. Noisy really dedicated to pushing this east side. He's doing quite well at it so far. Looks like he's going really wide this time to try and maybe focus down these generators. He's got a heavy weapon squad covering this VP and he's decapping it, and he is going after the gens. Not pushing up his Sentinel though. Maybe he doesn't want to get caught because he knows there's triple Ravener Broods around, though one of them is still in melee. There's that Holy Pyre again, and there's that artillery shell again, and the Hell Fury. He's really piling it on there. The Raveners do survive, mostly thanks to this improved Synapse, giving plus 25% health to everything around the Hive Town, and that was recently buffed so that it has the same range as basic Synapse. Ravenous Burrow Striking. Heavy Weapon Squad not knocked over though because of their Refractor Field, and now Excruciators on the field for the Inquisitor. Can the Ravenous finish her off here? Surely they can. Yes, they can. She does go down. Wow, so many Ravenous. Pretty interesting that Floyd is using both melee and ranged Ravenous. I wonder if he will get some melee Synapse on the field, because he can use Topi's range Synapse if he's close enough to these Venom Brew. Meanwhile, west side, double scouts, ouch, taking out a Raptor model, replacing their aspiring champion. That was the aspiring champion as well. That was pretty unlucky. The plasma cannon taking the guard tower there. 277, 417, a single cap now for the blue team. These spotters for Noisy doing really well. He had a really heavy tier 1, as you can see. Now he's into tier 2. Noise Marines now on the field for Nurland, and they do have the Blastmaster up. Turns them into an artillery unit with that massive Blastmaster cannon thing. Might want to edge a little bit closer so that he's covering the VP, but we'll see. Hormagaunts moving in. Ravenous Burrow Striking. Wraithguard on the field from Myrdal. That could be nasty. Because it seems like we have big ranged blobs here for the Tyranids, apart from these Ravenous and the Hormagaunts. Everything else is ranged. 277, 385, trying to focus down the Sentinel. Lots of Flamer Guardsmen. Well, 2. They are fully upgraded with Commissars and everything. And now he might be able to get a quick power bash. He might be able to completely finish off that power there with those Flamers ready. Techmarine has gone for the Plasma Gun and Signum, giving him some outrageous ranged plasma damage. And that Signum armor also increases the range of the Plasma Gun itself. Nurland with double Marco Zinc CSM, was not expecting that against double snipers, but he is really melting those tactical Marines. As you can see, might finish them off, in fact. Very nearly did. 15 hit points. 277, 365. Was not expecting that. I was expecting him to get double aspiring champions for the double slaughter and just try and shoot up the snipers that way. Bloodletter's teleporting in. As these weird white bloodletters, Nurland. Well, kind of white-ish. Tunnel being used mid. Hive node is there. And immediately the Wraithguard lose their Warlock leader, so they were stunned briefly there. Banshees moving in, but they're taking damage and being slowed down by that Hive node, and he loses them. Now he needs to run away, his Wraithguard. Really needs to run away. Bad engagement there for Myrdal, I should say. Wasn't supporting with his Farseer and the rest of his stuff. Not sure what happened there. Maybe he lagged or something. 277, 349. Looks like Myrdal intends to get some D cannons up in mid, which would be very powerful, obviously. Artillery is very powerful on this map because it's small, but they are powerful on pretty much every 3v3 map. But what I wanted to feel like they weren't safe. As you can see, you can flank inwards from the sides. Just got to be aggressive against the artillery. You can flank in from both sides and try and go after them. 277, 334. Havoc's on the way now for Nurland. He wants a las cannon, I think, for this Dreadnought. Dreadnought in its default melee state for Space Marines, tearing through those bloodletters. Now going after the Blastmaster out. The Raptors, despite having a Power Fist, do not really want to fight this thing. It has melee resistance, so the Power Fist won't be doing a lot of damage, and it will do a lot of damage to them. Down goes the Plague Champion. Plasma Cannon finishing him off. Ouch. And Zato is pushed all the way through to the VP. Can he decap it here? Tactical Marine's going to decap, I think. Yes, they are. Did he drop another Tactical Marine squad? I think he did. Now he's bashing power too. 277, 306. Myrdal coming up with his Wraithguard to support. Floyd looks like he had a bad engagement and loses all of his power on the east side. Ouch. Bunch of Hormagaunts going down, and they're finished off, in fact. Noisy doing a great job keeping the pressure on this east side. It means that Floyd can't really come mid and support there. Tier 3 Lictor for Topi now. This thing does heavy melee damage and quite a lot of it. I think it's almost 100 DPS heavy melee. Also has a flesh hook and a leap, and it can infiltrate for free. Does not drain energy on this guy when he's infiltrating. Pretty amazing unit. 277, 259. West side is looking pretty blue. There's the drop pod that delivered those tactical marines for Zato. Bloodletter's almost finishing off the plasma cannon. Can they get it? They're not very quick on their feet. They do have that little passive teleport that you saw. A brood nest, I should say, put up by Floid to support Zato. Good team play there. Wow, Devastator's getting absolutely melted by double Zinx CSM. That was nuts. Plague Champion does have the mucus discharge, by the way, as you'd expect against double snipers, and he can also support his Marco Zinx CSM with it. 277, 252. Ravenous burrow striking in there. Still melee, these guys. Floyd going for a tier 3 lictor off his own. Looks like Floyd has had a pretty rough tier 2. There's Holy Pyre, Hell Fury, Assail combo again from Noisy. What is the Hive Tyrant doing? They're just being tied up, I think, by the Inquisitor, which is why I can't fire his Venom Cannon. But as you can see, he still has a special attack with his Venom Cannon. He still has a sync kill as well, I think. 277, 243. Ravenet Alpha, what does he have? He has Burrow Traps, and that is it so far. 221 Cat, 243, 269. Red team seem to be having the better of the engagements in the middle and on the east side, certainly. But blue team are keeping those VPs even. Zato doing a good job pressuring the west side, and he is taking it now. Nurland healing up back at base, will be back out with his full complement of stuff. Did I see Plague Marines there? No, it's the las cannon on the Havocs. Inquisitor did go down. She's level 4 with that Holy Brazier and Excruciators. Lictor Alpha sneaking forward to see what's going on. There's a bunker cheekily placed behind this building, so it blocks line of sight. You'll need to come slightly to the side to fire upon it. Chimera's level 2, allowing all those guardsmen to reinforce. The Sentinel also still around, as you saw. Does not have its missile launcher though. 263, 231. Tactical Marines bashing power with the missile launcher. Here come Raptors to initiate. The Dreadnought is hanging back for now. Snipers taking shots. Ouch. Dreadnought does not go after the Raptors. It goes after the Bloodletters, and that might be dead Bloodletters right there. Needed to... I don't think he quite had the energy. You know, he didn't have the energy to use the warp shift, so he could warp out of reality and avoid damage there. You need 50 energy for that. Now that they're level 2, they should be able to teleport and warp shift one after the other. One of those situations where leveling up greatly benefits the unit. Las Cannon getting shots on this Dreadnought. Can it finish it off? Oh, there's a marked target on the Raptors. Las Cannon not quite in range now to get that last shot, or last couple of shots it needed. The Raptors trying to chase it down with that Melter Pistol and Power Fist, but they're not going to be able to do so. That drop pod will now go down. That drop pod was allowing Zato to reinforce, by the way. So it's a good thing that he's taking it down. There we go. Good thing for Nurland, that is. Flesh Hook flinging one of the Raptors around. They might want to run away now. Don't really want to fight this Lictor, I don't think. Oh, it's the Lictor that doesn't want to fight. Oh, Rangers pushing forward there. Some really late game Rangers for Myrdal. He has a D-cannon mid, nicely covering the central VP, and a bunch of shields up. Blue team need to flank, but can Zato get past Nurland? And can the Tyranids get past Noisy? Because Noisy is keeping the pressure up here. Has a Lehman Russ. Lots of Venom Brood coming up. We have a Carnifex with a Venom Cannon on the way. There's going to be a hell of a lot of AV. With the Venom Cannon from the Carnifex, triple Venom Broods, Lictors, and the Venom Cannon from the Hive Tyrant. 198, 231. That is a lot of AV. Those Hormagaunts live. Yes, they do. The Farseer was taken down as she was levitating them. And here comes Zato to the east side, sweeping across the map quite quickly. It is small, so he can do that. And this might be a really good push for blue team. I don't think Nurland has realised that they're tripling the east side. Myrdal still has stuff mid. And it's a really good push from the blue team. Can they take out one of these vehicles, maybe? Fire Prism now getting shots from Myrdal. Disrupting infantry and a las cannon getting shots on the Carnifex, persuading it to back off. Floyd with a really wide push on the eastern edge of the map. Sentinel just about survives. Floyd still in play here, and he's still in play with a lot of stuff. Has double Venom Broods. And there's another one from Topi. And he has the Corrosive Devourer. Surely he's going to get the Synapse Aura for damage now. That's a good spend of resources, surely, for that damage boost. I think it's a 35% damage boost. It might be 25%. 163, 231. Plasma Cannon can't quite hit those retreating Raptors. This Dreadnought has done really well though for Zato. Now has an Assault Cannon. 160, 231. Not entirely sure why he went for the Assault Cannon. I would have kept it in melee, I think, to counter-initiate the Bloodletters and Raptors. Maybe he's just afraid of that las cannon Havocs. Wow, Blastmaster shooting from the flank there right into the middle. Down goes the Fire Prism. That's a big victory for blue team, and that was a really good push. And now flanking inwards is Floyd. 143, 231. Red team holding on to their 2-to-1 cap. So when a formation goes off, looks like Noisy will avoid the worst of it. Yes, bit of a wasted nuke there. Might want to have used it on this Eldar stuff instead, since that's all static in a moment. That Dreadnought going to use the barrage, but misses the double marker Zinc CSM. And now we have Melter Gun Raptors at level 4. These guys are awesome. And they take down the Dreadnought with the help of the Plague Champion, Armor of Pestilence, Plague Fist, and Mucus Discharge. The Plague Fist doing 72 DPS heavy melee. 117, 231. Looks like the red team have this sewn up. A tough tier 2 for the Tyranids in general, I think. Especially Floyd. I think he had a few bad engagements over on this east side, and they're paying for it now. He was late to go tier 3 and got his power bust a bunch of times. They still have 150 power though. 103, 231 just doesn't have the requisition to get anything nice. Lots and lots of bleed from those Hell Fury, Holy Pyre, artillery combos from Noisy. Lots of wreck spent. Can they get mid though? Just need to kind of dislodge this D-cannon. Maybe should have got a Thornback Carnifex to charge through the middle and just cause havoc. Here comes a Lumen Russ. 85, 231, 2-to-1 cap steal for the red team. Nurland with tons of red. Surely he's going to use a nuke. Noisy though also has 750 red. And here comes Nurland in the mid. This is a really bad engagement here, I think, for blue team. Nurland has a really strong army himself. Double tactical marines, both of them with plasma guns. Yes, that's a hell of a lot of plasma damage. Is he trying to outshoot those Marcus Inc. CSM maybe? 64, 231. Lictor Alpha on the rear armor of the Chimera. Can he finish it off? Almost finishes it off. Can't quite chase it. The Lictor Alpha, the Lictor I should say, not the Lictor Alpha. Pretty slow on its feet. 56, 231. Another Fire Prism on the field. Infiltrated by the Rangers there. Burrow Trap goes up, but the Rangers will spot it, so it immediately goes down. He needs to get these Synapse Aura surely. Look at this though. Zato pushing the west side very, very well. Drops a Venerable Dreadnought. That is why. Look at the damage those Raptors are doing at level 4. That is nuts. That is so much damage from those metal guns. Wow, they're getting absolutely decimated though. He's trying to throw the melter bomb. A really nice nuke on Zato's stuff. Wow. Just deleted one of his tactical marines there. Blue team are capping mid though. Look at this. 34-231. It's not over yet. That was a nasty nuke though. Really nasty. Zato now has a Predator tank on the way. Yet another fire prison from Myrdal. Looks like he's lost 2 of them. There was a Tyrant formation as you saw, which helped them push mid. Hive Tyrant has gone down. He's not going to survive this revive, but the Hive Tyrant might be able to run away. Goes down. Hive Tyrant needs to retreat. And does so. But does he get away? Yes, he does. And the mandate is up for the Inquisitor. Gives her a speed buff and invulnerability. Can she finish off the Hive Tyrant with her Hammer of the Witches? Very nearly did. 18 hit points on that guy. Doom of Manatai for Floid, which will help against Nurland's army, certainly. And against infantry in general. Gives it that disruption as well from Cataclysm to stop caps and stuff. Now, can the red team retake the mid? 34-191. Lehman Russ taking shots at the Raveners. That tier 3 Lictor hasn't leveled up yet, but uses the flesh hook on the Inquisitor, who is now fleeing in retreat. Floyd keeping his Raveners in melee into late game. Look at all this flame. That was nuts how quickly they bashed there. Level 4 guardsmen with commissars bashing in seconds. That was nuts. Swarmlord on the way for Topi. Zato keeping the pressure on this side. Doing a good job not sitting mid. He's pressuring this west side. Bloodletters level 2 for Nurland, teleporting on the scouts. Uh-oh, mark target on them though, and there's a venerable, and they're gonna get finished off here, I think. Yeah, that was all because of mark target, and now the venerable trying to tie up these raptors. Does he have Dark Age of Technology? No, he doesn't. Maybe he's waiting for it to level before he gets it. Doesn't want to waste. I think it's 50 power, so it's not cheap to get your venerable up to 2,000 hit points. 26-165. Red team do have the 2-1, and this could be it unless Zato can push and get a decap hit. He might lose this venerable. Yeah, raptors are there, and he does lose it. There is Stoicism going to try and smack around some noise marines while he still can. 15-165. Baneblade on the field for Noisy. Floyd just unable to get the tier 3 stuff out that I'm sure he wanted to. 13-165. I don't think we saw a single Carnifex from Floyd. Trying to formation yet again. It's the 3rd one I've seen. Baneblade taking a lot of damage, but should be okay with all of that repair. Swarmlord trying to take it down. There's the Leech Essence. Is he going to go after Lenium Russ? No, he's backing away here. Doom of Manatine capping duty. 13-162. Uh-oh, Lazcannon getting shot. Swarmlord all of a sudden in big trouble, because these 2 tanks can obviously chase it down. 13-161. Yeah, the Swarmlord is done for. Down it goes. 1-1 cap. But red team are taking mid, and here's an Avatar now hanging out mid. Doom Manatai will do a lot of damage to the Avatar with Paroxysm. Look at the health flying down on the Avatar. Wow. Paroxysm doing 2% damage per second of the unit's health, which is why it's so powerful against big super units and Terminators and stuff. Also does extra damage, I believe, to heavy and super heavy infantry, since it's psychic PvP damage. But the VPs are whittling down as I waffle on, and there is the game for red team. Avatar was just about to Wailing Doom this Lictor in the face. Pretty cool game. I think Noisy's pressure on this east side really swung things, killed a lot of Floyd stuff. He had a bad engagement in tier 2, I think, which was hard to recover from. Couldn't quite recover from that, and Noisy really set up his army well. Went for a bunch of flamers, which you don't often see on guardsmen, specifically to bash this power multiple times. Those spotters also did really well And the Inquisitor was awesome with the Holy Brazier, Excruciators and Mandate at level 6. Farseer also doing a good job. Gravity Blade, Harmony Assuring with Time Field. Time Field, such a powerful ability in 3v3s. Also Runes of Reaping. Plague Champion with Plague Fist, Armor of Pestilence and Mucus Discharge. Zato, who did well pushing this west side. He did get doubled a couple of times and lost his Dreadnoughts though. Those Raptors were crazy at level 4. Had Scouts, and he had a Plasma Gun and Signum, I think. Ravenet Alpha never got the Synapse Aura for damage. Had the Corrosive Devourer, but stuck with the Burrow Trap through the game, even though the Rangers were spotting him. Oh, Rangers did go down though. Floyd, Hive Tyrant level 6 with his favoured build these days of the Venom Cannon, improved Synapse and Warp Field. There you have it, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, as always, and I'll see you next time.